Hi, Pogi.
Yeah, boy.
What a peculiar vibe from this clip we have here, right? But how or why do we attach certain emotions to these clips? Do clippers really have the power to manipulate and change any context? Let's see, analyze, and learn how editing affects VTuber clips. You can call me Otad, and this is Clippers Science. Going back to this clip of Millie from Nijisanji, I have prepared 3 clips from the same moment, each one edited in a different way. Let's review them and see how each one works.
Hi, Pogi.
Yeah, boy.
The first one is that one we have already seen. Basically, this clip has a yabe tone. Nothing to surprise us since this cut was made with such intentions. But now let's see that same clip, but we will change it a bit.
Hi, Pogi. Hi, Pogi.
This one has a more cute vibe in it. The music and meme changed too, as well as the rhythm. But what if we change the mood to the other way around?
Hi, Pogi.
There he goes, that's it.
Now is another whole story. Not just the rhythm has a slower pace. Actually, we use some extra memes to subvert the context. Now this is a sad clip. Exactly, that's cinema at its finest. Anyways, let's see the original clip without any editing.
Hi, Pogi.
Pogi means handsome, by the way.
It becomes a regular moment. Well, that's just real life if you think about it. There's not always something special happening at every moment of our lives. Actually, it is usually said by my own teachers that real life is plain and boring and we cannot pretend to portray real life, because that would be boring to see, or something along those lines.
I'm not the best student, you know.
But anyway, as we could see, it's really easy to distort and change the context of a clip or a whole video by just making simple cuts here and there. It all revolves around one of the principles of video editing, the Kuleshov Effect. I talked briefly about it in another video. Basically, the Klushov Effect is one of the first editing techniques ever created. What it does is that it manipulates the audience's perception and emotion depending on how the shots are assembled. In other words, the order of the clips in the timeline affects people's perception. And where does its name come from? It comes from the filmmaker Lev Kuleshov, who did an experiment about this during 1910. The experiment signaled to directors and film editors that shot length, movement, cuts, and juxtaposition are filmmaking techniques that can emotionally affect audiences. Kuleshov technique established editing as an art form and a key tool in the creation of the film. I know that it sounds really simple now, but we have to remember that we are used to this kind of stuff so much that we have inherited it. And by the way, even though he did this experiment and demonstrated it, he was not the first one to use it. There were a lot of people using it before. Actually, it's important to remember that in the industry of film editing, women were the first ones to mold it and discover how important editing can be for storytelling. Someone could ask, why is this even a thing when it's something so obvious? Here's the thing, it comes naturally to everyone nowadays since we see it every day. We see it in movies, YouTube videos, ads, streams, and basically any screen in existence, and it doesn't help that there are more and more screens in the world. In that way, clippers put a part of themselves in the narrative they create even if they are not aware of it. It's part of the editing process. There's a narrative in every clip. The cut that clippers do in every clip creates a narrative by itself, a subplot that only exists in that clip or video, a subplot that may be totally different to the one in the original stream. That's why the examples at that start of this video are not really the best example of the Kuleshov effect, since they are being affected by the music, memes, sound effects, and they don't depend entirely on the cut of 2 clips. So yeah, I'm guilty of manipulating the first minutes of this video.
Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why.
But what they are doing is something similar to the Kuleshov effect but different. Well, clippers are built different after all. If anything, I would call it the clippers effect. The way you edit a clip can intensify a vibe, create a new emotion or a new story in viewers than in a real stream. Now that we have explained what it is, it's time to see it in action in a real setting. Let's see how it works in edited clips from clippers. For example, here we have a clip from this channel, with Nanasu Anone as the protagonist.
Hi, Pogi. Hi, Pogi. Pogi.
Using the rock and his eyebrow to transform this moment into a Seuss moment to make it funny, and also, doing it with a fast pace so the timing fits that vibe. And then,
What you mean burn me? I will burn you with my hotness.
the clip is using a combination of an explosion with another clip of a guy falling. An amazing combination to make the mood even funnier. And as another example, we will see the next clip edited by Hanizen.
Did you know about marry us Munafik? No.
He uses the clippers effect to demonstrate and potentiate and create a funny and sad vibe moment that a Munafik is having in this part of the stream. The pace and rhythm is what makes this clip an excellent example of this technique. We get 2 fast cuts zooming in Muna's face. In that sense, Muna's face will cover the whole screen and make the transition smooth, creating a match cut between Muna's face and the meme video. A very clever clip and edit. After seeing all this, a new question appears. How do we know if the editing we are seeing is being made in good faith or not? Well, it's hard to tell if I'm being honest, since as we have seen, it is really easy to change the mood of a clip with some cuts here and there. In that sense, it can be abused to give the wrong idea about a streamer to a new audience. For example, if people only see yabe clips about a VTuber, that might get them the wrong idea and they will probably be bombed during a real stream for their behavior, because they wrongly thought that some sort of jokes were socially accepted there. At the end of the day, if there is a pattern of editing that is being exaggerated or not corrected, that might be a little red flag. Because there's always a difference between someone inexperienced and someone with continuous exaggerated clips here and they're doing Seuss editing. Out of context compilations exist after all, but it's totally clear and stated that they are being made for fun. But again, it is not always an easy task to judge. So again, are clippers manipulators? I mean, yeah, to a certain extent. Editors manipulate the audience's perception of everything shown in a video even if they are not aware at all. But I also think that it's important to keep in check what is the vibe you want to highlight in a clip with what is the usual vibe of a certain VTuber. So if I have to give a proper answer, it all revolves around keeping that balance. And lastly, if we experiment and combine these 3 types of ways to showcase a vibe, we can get a new result that it's a whole new mood.
Hi, Pogi. Hi, Pogi.
Yeah, boy.
There he goes. That's it.
Now just imagine that same technique applied to hundreds and even thousands of clips that are being uploaded on a daily basis to this VTuber universe. That's the magic of editing in the Klushov Effect in some way. Hi everyone, Otad here. I think I have accepted this weird and funny name by now, but anyways, I hope that you like this new series of videos analyzing video editing in clippers and let me know what you think about it. Don't forget that we have a Discord server so you don't miss any update. Thanks for watching you all.